Félix François Faure was president of France from 1895 until his death in 1899. Biography. Félix François Faure was born in Bordeaux, the son of a small furniture maker. Having started as a tanner and merchant at Le Havre, he acquired considerable wealth, was elected to the National Assembly on 21 August 1881, and took his seat as a member of the left, interesting himself chiefly in matters concerning economics, railways and the navy. In November 1882 he became Under-Secretary for the Colonies in Ferry's ministry, and retained the post till 1885. He held the same post in Tirard's ministry in 1888, and in 1893 was made Vice President of the Chamber. In 1894 he obtained cabinet rank as Minister of Marine in the administration of Charles Dupuy. In the following January he was unexpectedly elected President of the Republic upon the resignation of President Casimir Perier. The principal cause of his elevation was the determination of the various sections of the moderate Republican Party to exclude Henry Brisson, who had had a plurality of votes on the first ballot, but had failed to obtain an absolute majority. To accomplish this end it was necessary to unite the party, and unity could only be secured by the nomination of someone who offended no one. Faure answered perfectly to this description. In 1895 he granted amnesty to the anarchist movements, enabling the return from exile to England of several famous anarchists, such as Émile Pogat. In 1897 he met Marguerite Steinheil, who subsequently became his mistress. This scandalous, high-profile liaison has been the subject of works of fiction, such as The President's Mistress, aired on Eurochannel, with Christiana Reilly in Steinheil's role. His fine presence and his tact on ceremonial occasions rendered the state some service when in 1896 he received the Tsar at Paris, and in 1897 returned his visit, after which meeting the Franco-Russian alliance was publicly announced again. The latter days of Faure's presidency were infamous for the Dreyfus affair, which he was determined to regard as chose juge. This drew against him the criticism of pro-Dreyfus intellectuals and politicians, such as Émile Zola and Georges Clemenceau. Freemasonry. Félix Faure was initiated in Le Havre, at La Manité, a lodge of Grand Orient de France, in 1865, 25 October. He frequented his lodge to 1895 when his anti-Dreyfus behavior removed him from Grand Orient de France. Death. Faure died suddenly from apoplexy in the Élysée Palace on 16 February 1899, at a critical juncture while engaged in sexual activities in his office with 30-year-old Marguerite Steinheil. It has been widely reported that Félix Faure had his fatal seizure while Steinheil was fellating him, but the exact nature of their sexual intercourse is in fact unknown, and such reports may have stemmed from various jeux de mots made up afterward by his political opponents. One such pun was to nickname Mme Steinheil La Pompe Funèbre. Georges Clemenceau's epitaph of Faure, in the same trend, was Il volit être si acute sar, il ne fut que Pompée. Clemenceau, who was also editor of the newspaper La Aurore, wrote that, upon entering the void, he, Faure, must have felt at home. After his death, some alleged extracts from his private journals, dealing with French policy, were published in the Paris press. Opinion on the auto industry. In 1898, the French auto industry was the largest in the world. President Faure was not impressed. Invited to address industry leaders at what, in retrospect, is recorded as the first Paris Motor Show, Faure told his audience, "Your cars are very ugly and they will smell very bad boat." The French BARC president Félix Faure, named for the president, was involved in a 1908 case of shipwreck at the Antipodes Islands, south of New Zealand, the survivors being stranded for 60 days before being rescued.